Have you ever witnessed a story not told through words, but through glances, shared steps, and meaningful silences? Today, we're not just watching two stars return from a long journey, we're witnessing a story unfolding behind the spotlight. Hello everyone, welcome back to Jikook Moment, a place where warmth and closeness don't need to be explained, only felt. Jimin and Jungkook were recently spotted at the airport in Vietnam, preparing to return to Korea. This moment seems to mark the end of a phase in a journey that has captured the attention of many over the past few weeks. Their trip began in New York, continued in Switzerland, and concluded in Vietnam, a series of travels that clearly signify a special closeness between the two. Photos taken by fans show them walking side by side in casual clothes with calm expressions. Even though there were fans around, they showed no signs of discomfort or attempts to avoid attention. They appeared natural, unfiltered, as if wanting to show they have nothing to hide. This reflects a clear decision to be themselves, together, without any strategy or disguise. During this journey, it wasn't just geographical distance they traveled, but also personal experiences that strengthened their bond. Beyond the professional environment that has united them for over 10 years, what we're seeing now is a genuine and warm connection between two individuals who know each other deeply. Every place they visited left a mark, not just visually, but emotionally. They were seen laughing, enjoying simple moments, and sharing space with a striking sense of comfort. Sometimes they didn't need to speak to understand each other. The silence was meaningful. This kind of communication only grows from a bond built with patience, trust, and affection. Despite media spotlight and public speculation, Jimin and Jungkook don't act like people hiding something. On the contrary, they remain consistent, traveling together, appearing as companions, without making official statements, but also without denying the reality. Their choice to not hide their relationship instead provides clarity about the kind of connection they share, one that goes beyond labels and definitions. Their return to Korea doesn't seem like a conclusion, but rather the beginning of a new chapter. Perhaps they're preparing a joint project or plan to share parts of this journey in some future content. It wouldn't be surprising if parts of this experience were documented for creative purposes, possibly as a continuation of Are You Sure or another new project. But what matters most isn't just the physical journey, it's the emotional bond reaffirmed in each step they took together. In a world full of exposure and often steeped in pretense, witnessing a relationship grow honestly and without drama feels incredibly meaningful. The fact that they've spent weeks together in various places, uninterrupted by outside influences, reflects a level of trust that doesn't develop overnight. This closeness is revealed through the simplest gestures and the moments they share. That's why their connection draws so much attention. For those who've followed their story closely, this journey feels like a small window into their private lives, not on stage, but in the everyday reality that feels more authentic. What the public sees isn't part of a promotional campaign, but fragments of real life surfacing naturally. And even though they're now back in Korea, the experiences they've shared remain timeless, not just in photos, but in the collective memory of the fans who've walked alongside them for years. It feels more like a pause than an ending, a moment to breathe before entering a new phase, both professionally and personally. Jimin and Jungkook continue to build a shared story, one that, though rarely expressed in words, is deeply felt. Whether through the way they look at each other, the way they walk side by side, or how they seem in sync in every setting, their relationship speaks for itself. Today, we're not just celebrating a journey or a return home, we're celebrating a story that continues to be written with sincerity and steady steps. The story of Jimin and Jungkook, a story that lives in every decision they make, in every moment when, no matter where they are, they keep choosing each other over and over again. Although there have long been those who try to deny their closeness, especially from groups like Taekookers, who spread false narratives and rumors, the truth is starting to speak louder. The evidence, their demeanor, and actions show that what they share is not an illusion, but something real and built together. They have been seen together in many places, journeying as a couple they chose to be. Perhaps they are working on something special, maybe a follow-up to Are You Sure, or another yet-to-be-announced project. Nothing has been officially confirmed, but one thing is already clear: They share these moments with joy, freedom, and the natural ease that defines their relationship. In the past, their moments together might have seemed sporadic. But now, their interactions are more frequent and consistent. What once felt like a secret now seems like a truth that no longer needs to be hidden. They no longer need to pretend. Jimin and Jungkook quietly show their closeness with respect and without exaggeration. Their expressions, their glances, smiles, and small gestures need no explanation. Everything feels sincere. The change in how they present themselves reflects personal growth and the evolution of their relationship. What was once dismissed as speculation is now seen as a visible and strong connection. And they're not doing it to convince anyone, but simply because it's who they are. They continue walking together, building memories, sharing journeys, projects, and everyday moments, just like any couple who respect and support each other. For longtime fans, these moments aren't just beautiful scenes but reflections of something that has grown over time, a relationship that found its own way to be expressed. Without grand words, without forced explanations, just through actions, closeness, and the consistency of two people who care deeply for each other. Jimin and Jungkook don't need to justify what they do. They simply keep walking, choosing each other every day, without hiding or changing who they are under outside pressure. And maybe this is the most valuable thing of all, watching them learn to show their true selves, unfiltered and fearless, in a world that too often demands explanations for things it doesn't understand. We may not know exactly what they did in every place they visited, but one thing is certain, they enjoyed it together as always. Because their story isn't measured by rumors or outside opinions, but by every step they take side by side. Some people still view their closeness as mere friendship or stage performance. But if we look deeper, at the way they look at each other, approach each other without awkwardness, we'll sense something far beyond a performance. Their connection doesn't feel rehearsed or scripted. It's a genuine bond reflected in daily life, in the small things they keep doing without seeking attention. For example, before a concert, one of them is often seen placing a hand on the other's shoulder, offering calm words or a simple gesture of encouragement. These actions often happen off-camera or when there's no need to perform. And yet, they continue doing it, seeking and being there for each other. The way they are together is not something we see with other group members with the same frequency or naturalness. Their relationship is marked by a special way of caring, not just physically, but emotionally. When one looks nervous, the other stays calm. When one is tired, the other offers a gentle massage, shares a drink, or sits silently beside them. While such behavior could exist between close friends, the repeated pattern suggests it's simply how they live their lives together. There are countless clips showing these moments, during rehearsals, backstage, while traveling, even in interviews. What's remarkable is that they don't try to explain anything. No speeches, no defenses. They simply act from the heart. That sincerity is so palpable, even without words. That's why, for those who follow them closely, this relationship feels special. Not a theory, not an assumption, but a reality built through gestures, trust, and quiet affection that needs no grand announcement. Every gaze holds a story. Every hug is part of a routine that has lasted for years. And while it may seem simple to some, the consistency of this relationship makes it all feel very real and solid. Jimin and Jungkook have created their own language, a unique way of communicating that doesn't depend on place, audience, or moment. What they share doesn't need a fixed name or a clear label. What matters is acknowledging that their connection holds a special power built on trust, care, and deep respect. And maybe, this return of Jimin and Jungkook isn't the end, but the beginning of a new chapter in a story that never fails to captivate us. Are they preparing something? We don't know for sure. But one thing is certain, with every step, every smile, and every genuine moment they share, they show that true closeness doesn't need loud declarations. It just needs to be present, consistent, and real. Thank you for joining us in this episode. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to keep following this extraordinary story, Jimin and Jungkook, who always choose each other again and again.